Thank you for joining me today. We're going to start off with a little bit of a warm-up check-in, and we're going to do that from a standing position. Then we'll do some groundwork, a little bit of mobility and strengthening on the ground, and then, yeah, it'll be a whole bunch of good stuff. So let's just get right into it, okay? So we're going to start from a standing position, so let's go ahead and come to standing and get this party started. Okay, so first and foremost, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start off with some bouncing. And so your feet are roughly shoulder width apart, and you're just going to bounce upon the balls of the feet. Just start to loosen the body, breathe in, breathe out, and start to turn your attention inside the body and notice how you feel. Let your arms be loose. Let your spine be soft. Let your knees and hips be soft. Everything nice and relaxed. Nice and easy bounce. Okay, so from here, let's go ahead and plant our heels back on the ground and we're going to do some spinal waves. So we're going to start by leading with the knees, then the pelvis, then the sternum, then the chest, and then start it all over again. So you're just doing some nice, gentle spinal waves. And then you can start to move the spine in different directions. So maybe this time I start moving backwards and scoop under this way. So your spine is relaxed and you're focusing on moving each vertebrae independently. Some of the vertebrae move better than others or are more mobile than others, some of the segments of the spine. So I want you to focus on distributing that movement evenly throughout the spine as you do your wave, okay? And then from here, we're also going to add a little bit of side to side motion, and then a combination of all the above. So this movement is just all about the spine, softening the spine, relaxing the spine, relaxing everything inside your viscera, all the internal organs, making sure everything's nice and relaxed. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay? From here, we're going to move into the hips. So we're just going to take our hands on our hips, take your feet a little bit further apart, some nice hip circles to the right. Breathe in, breathe out. Make sure to focus on your breathing the whole time. Okay, let's go to the left. Nice and easy. Okay. From here, we're going to take the leg and we're going to swing it forward and back. So I'm just going to take one foot off the ground and I'm going to swing the leg forward and back. Just within a range that feels comfortable for you. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So now we're taking the other leg forward and back, forward and back. Just loosening up the hip, keeping it nice and soft, noticing how well it moves, noticing areas that might feel tight. Okay. On the other leg now, we're going to take the leg in front, out to the side, and then behind. So out to the side in the front, out to the side and behind. 3, 4, and 5. Let's go ahead and switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. From here, we're going to take the leg inside, outside, and switch legs. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside. Some nice gentle kicks, moving the leg inside to outside. Okay, from here, we're going to go to the knees. So you can place your hands on your knees if you want. We're just going to flex and extend the knees. So you're bending down and then standing right back up. From here, we're going to take our hands on our knees and do some nice gentle circles to the right and also to the left. Okay, from here, we're going to take our attention into the ankles. So you're going to move to the outside of the ankles and the inside of the ankles. You can do 1 foot at a time, or you can do both feet at the same time. Make sure that you use a variation that works for you. From here, we're going to take the foot behind. We're going to take the toes underneath, and we're just going to rotate the leg bone and massage the top side of the foot. You can take your stance as long as you want. Nice and easy. And then let's switch sides. So just nice gentle rotations of the leg bone to massage the foot. Okay, and then take that stance as long as you want. Play around with different positions of the body, maybe going a little deeper into a lunge, standing up a little taller, getting the top sides of the toes, maybe more of the top side of the foot, and then let's come out of it. From here, we're going into the toes. So we're going to lift our toes up off the ground, spread them wide, and lower them back down. Let's do that 4 more times. Lift it up, spread them wide, lower them down. Lift them up, spread them apart, lower down. Lift up, spread apart, lower down. Okay, up, spread apart, lower down. Okay, so nice gentle circles with the ankles. One direction, the other direction. Switch sides, one direction, other direction. Just getting the feet mobilized just like the rest of the body. Okay, shake that out. Now we're going to move into the arms. So we're going to start with some shoulder shrugs. We're just going to shrug those shoulders forward. You can take your hands wherever you want to put them. You can put them at your side. You can put them out to the side. Doesn't really matter, but your emphasis is on the scapula, what's happening there. So you're shrugging the shoulders, but focusing your mind on what's happening in the scapula. Let's go backwards. You can go slow. You can start to speed it up a little bit, whatever speed and range works best for you. Okay, from here, we're going to take our shoulders through protraction and retraction, but I want you to keep your ribs in a nice, stable, neutral position. So find a good position with your ribs, and then now we can start to move our shoulders forward and back, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. From here, we're going to take it into some arm movements. So we're just going to do some nice circles forward with the arms, opening up through the chest. Again, use a speed that works for you. Make sure that you're breathing deeply, relaxed, nice and slow. And then from here, let's go backwards. Real nice. From here, we're going to take our elbows through flexion and extension. Nice little action with the elbows here. From here, we're going to take it into the wrists. So you're going to take your wrist, you're going to make a fist and flex the wrist down. You're going to take your wrist with the other hand and you're just going to rotate the arm bone. And this helps to mobilize the carpals of the wrist, those little bones inside the wrist, and it helps to stimulate the mechanoreceptors within the connective tissue there. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Same exact thing. Just nice, gentle rotations through the arm bones. Okay, let's shake that out. Okay, we're going to spread the fingers wide, make a tight fist. Spread the fingers wide, make a tight fist. You know the rest. Okay, nice and easy. All right, from here, we're going to go get right into our first movement series. We're going to start with some break falls. So this is a little bit of a more of an intense warm-up to try to get the tissues warm and ready for more movement. So let's start with a break fall. The break fall can be done from multiple positions. We can come from a standing position, we lower ourselves down, gently slap the ground, and then you're going to come back up to your standing position. Okay? You can also just start from a lower position, maybe even a deep squat, and just come down and right back up. Okay? Nice and easy, nice and relaxed. make it work for you guys. If you want to get a little bit more out of it, then add more to it. Perhaps you get a little bit of a walk, a little bit of a loose bounce. Perhaps when you rock back, you use the other hand to kind of catch your head so you don't smack your head on the ground. Stay nice and loose. Pop up. The pop-up's critical because that means I'm ready. I'm ready for what's next. All right, so from here, we're going to get into a single leg squat. So the first version of this will just be with feet shoulder width apart. So I'm going to take my feet shoulder width apart. I'm going to go up onto the ball of my foot at about the level of the ankle. So the ball of the foot right by the ankle, and the emphasis is on that front leg. So I'm just going to lower myself down as close to the ground as I can and come right back up. So play around with this movement to try to see what position is best for you. See if you can add a little imagination to add context. You know, perhaps I have to come down to reach for something over here, and then I stand back up. Perhaps I got to reach down and come for something over here. So the more imagination you add to your movement, the more you're going to get out of it. Let's switch legs. So now we got the other leg, and we're just lowering ourselves down, feeling the position of the body, and trying to emphasize a little bit of this posterior hip action. And the way that we do that is by focusing on a hinge of the hip and dropping that weight back and slowly lowering yourself down. So because we're just starting our movement practice this morning, we want to maybe consider a slower start. Not slower start, but just slower movements at first, and then picking up the speed as you start to develop that fluency or that comfort with that particular movement. Okay, let's switch again, please. Nice and strong, nice and easy. Perhaps you pulse a little bit in any one of the positions. Maybe you get as tight as you can and then come up, opening yourself as much as you can. So it's like tight, open, tight, protect, open, ready to go. Okay, lower down, tight, stand up, open, ready, always ready, nice and strong. Okay, from here, we're going to come back to the ground and do some push-up variations. So you have a lot of options here. Number one, we can hold a push-up position. So you can come into your push-up position and just hold. The other option is to lower yourself down towards the ground. Once you get here, take your hands up off the ground and retract the shoulder blades. Lay the hands back down on the ground, press, and when you come to the up position, you want to protract the shoulders and really press into the ground, pressing your body towards the ceiling. And then again, if you want to choose to continue that, you can go down, take the hands off, perhaps look around a little bit, and then come up. Okay? Use the variation that works for you. If you want to just go down and up with your push-up, that's fine as well. Okay, if you're holding your position, this is a great option. You can change the position of your body to give yourself a little break. So perhaps moving into a high hip position, and then come right back into the push-up. Okay, if you want to add a challenge for the stable position, take one arm out of it. Just make sure that you balance out what you're doing similar things on both sides. Okay, guys, let's come back to standing, right back into our break falls. So Fall down, come right back up. Use your breathing to keep yourself soft and relaxed the whole time. Keep yourself relaxed. So even though we're starting to perhaps get a little sweat going, perhaps get the heart rate going, still try to keep yourself relaxed. So it's like this idea of relaxed strength. We want to be relaxed, but we also want to be strong. Keep the body as fluid as you can. If you can't hop around, like some of the times that you see me bouncing all over the room, that's okay. As long as you're getting your heart rate up a little bit and you're teaching yourself how to get down onto the ground safely and productively, protecting that head, you're good. See what you can add to this movement. Give yourself some context. Whoa, I flew over. Catch yourself. All right. Right back into our single leg squat. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to step behind. So I'm going to take one leg, plant it into the ground. I'll step behind with the other leg and get close to the ground. Come back up, switch sides. I'm stepping behind, coming down close to the ground, and I want you guys to explore different positions when you're coming down onto the ground. Okay, so you step behind and you imagine adding load. If you had to carry a load, you would hold yourself a different way versus just moving in and out of these positions. So you can add your imagination to add context to get a little bit of a different variation of the movement. Breathe in, breathe out. Nice and slow. Focusing on that idea of relaxed strength. So the breath rate should be increasing, heart rate increasing, but also manageable. Not going nuts, just gradually starting to build the intensity as we go. Ooh, I don't know about you guys, but this is making a burn happen here. Okay, 9 seconds. And then we're going to switch, come right back into our push-up variations. Okay, so right back into our push-up position. Choose the variation that works for you. If you want to stagger the stance, maybe even come down onto a knee, lower yourself down, and more of a sprawl idea, where when you come down or you're falling forward, you take your head off to the side and try to lower yourself down as slow as you can. I just cracked my head on the ground. It didn't hurt though. See, if I didn't have my face off to the side, bam, that would have been super embarrassing. You got so many options. You can take the hands further apart. You can take them closer together. But remember, the quality is very, very critical. Quality of your motion. Making sure that you're tuning into the sensations inside each one of your joints so that you know you're giving them the nutrition, the support, and the love that the body needs. Perhaps you want to do a little bit of all the above. Pause, static hold here. 8 more seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, guys, from here, we're going to move into our next movement series. So we're going to start from a kneeling position. So we have some options here. You can point your toes and sit on your ankles this way. You can also flex your toes so that you can sit on it this way. And if this still isn't an option, go into a position that works for you. If you need a pillow or something under the knees, you can do that as well. So from this kneeling position, we're going to bring our body weight over to the side as we bring one leg behind, and now we're in side sit. And then I'm going to bring that same leg that's back, I'm going to bring it forward, switch sides. If I need to use my hands, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. Remember, safety, priority number 1. Okay, you want to challenge yourself, but you also don't want to exceed your ranges of productive motion. Okay, and sometimes it's hard to know exactly what that is, and that's why we do this type of a movement practice, where we're focusing on this idea of relaxed strength and mobilization and functional movement. So get yourself into position. Once you come into your side sit, play around with different angles and different positions to explore what feels good to you. Okay, so come into your kneeling, bring that leg behind. I personally like to focus my attention and my gaze upward as opposed to always down. This is where we tend to be throughout our day, so I like to bring it up. Okay, from here, we're going to move into a rocking get-up. So let's sit on our butt, please. And you can just start to rock forward and back. When you're ready, we're going to come up in any position that you want with your legs, and we're going to come up to standing and lower ourselves right back down. So there's so many options. I have a figure 4 option, and again, I can use my arms as much as I need to through the process. Okay, I can bring my feet together and use the momentum of my arms and legs to stand up. I can take one leg straight, one leg bent towards the ceiling, come forward with it. Okay, so many different options. Try to use your imagination to get as much out of this movement practice as you can. This is really good because we're bending the joints in all sorts of functional ways, moving around, navigating the ground smoothly, relaxed, but strong, all at the same time. Remember, try to keep it as fun as you possibly can. Have a good time. Feel your body through space and time. Feel the body from the inside out so that you're not just focusing on the obvious things, the legs, the shoulders, the wrists, but also focusing your attention inside. Okay. From here, we're going to go into a bridge with an overhead reach. So we're going to lay back. Your knees are going to be bent, heels or feet flat on the ground. You're going to lift your pelvis up into the air and reach over your head. Okay? And then come back down, switch sides. So I press, reach, come down. And there's a million different angles and positions that we can explore. So just find your range. You can always add to this one by kicking your butt through as if you're trying to get away from something, someone, God forbid, and reaching around. Okay, nice and strong. Use a speed that works for you. Perhaps you want to stay in your bridge position as you just roll from shoulder to shoulder. Inhale, exhale. Make sure that you're relaxing and staying strong the whole time. Now, when I do my bridge, I can also, in my reach, I can focus on the massage that's taking place because as I'm rolling over my shoulder, I'm actually massaging my arm into the ground. So I can slow down and really see what it feels like and explore the sensations. Okay, so from here, going right back into our kneeling to side sit transition. So we have our kneeling position here, nice and long through the spine, pressing through the crown of the head. You can use your hands if you like. Lower yourself down into that side sit. Play around with different positions. You know, your legs can be further apart. They could be closer in. So many different variations that we can try. Side sit to kneeling. Okay? Play around with different positions. Maybe you have something in your room or your area that you're moving in. You have a little something that you can hold on to and add some practicality or context to these movements. Perhaps you want to take the arms out of it so that you're just lowering yourself down using the strength of the legs. See how much variation you can add, and the slightest little movements help to add so much to this practice that we're engaging in this morning. 20 seconds left. Perhaps you really want to extend. So from my kneeling position, I can really take that leg back far, get a nice gentle stretch to the front side of the hip, change the position, come back, switch sides. I'm really reaching and trying to get as many different variations as I can. Okay, so right back into our rocking get up. So we have our rocking forward and back. You can play around with different aspects of the rocking. Perhaps you want to make a little bit more of an abdominal exercise out of it by keeping your legs straight. And then add that get up. Okay? So I can rock, perhaps separate the ankles, you know, whatever you like to add something new and fun to how you're doing it. Keep rocking. Perhaps you got to do something like fix your tight roll on your pants. Oh, I could do that with my rocking. Still going here. Bam, it's all done. Wardrobe fixed. Bed ready for action. Bam. Rocking with a get up. Rocking with a get up. Have some fun with it, guys. Slow it down. Speed it up. Fast, fast. How light can you be? And how much variation can you add? How safe can you be when you have obstacles in your environment that could ruin your day? 5 seconds. Woo! Okay, so last set of bridge with overhead reach. So we're on our backs. Lift the pelvis up off the ground. Draw the shoulder blades together. Reach. Reach. Perhaps you want to add to this one. Maybe as I reach, maybe I lift one leg off the ground and I play around with the sensations of counterbalance, where the weight of my arm and the weight of my leg are working together to create a relationship or to enhance a relationship with everything in between. Okay, so I can bridge, reach, add that leg aspect, and just notice the different positions you can find yourself in. Bridge, reach, leg up off the ground. Again, if you have something in your room that you can grab, and then you can put that object through the movement into different positions. 40 seconds. Nice and strong the whole time. Stay in any one of these positions that you want to get a little bit more out of it. Okay? I always like to see what else I can do with each one of these movements that I'm practicing. Because I got a stone, using this other hand to protect my face in the unlikely event I drop this sucker. Okay, time's up. Moving into our next movement series. So we're going to start this next series with a knee hand or a foot hand crawl position, kick over, and tripod transition. Let me show you how that looks. So from a knee hand crawl position, first part of our movement is to get the knees about 1 inch to 2 inches off the ground. From here, I'm going to take one leg or one hip through extension, reach it over, find the ground. Now I'm in a tripod position. Okay? I can lift one leg off the ground and watch what happens here. As I move through my foot hand crawl position, the same leg can shoot up over the head. Now I'm in this position. So again, I can straighten a leg from this inverted crawl. Okay? Now watch this leg. It comes under and over. You see that aspect? Whatever variation you can work out, I'm sure it's good. Okay, so I can lift one leg up and kick it all the way over. Okay? This is kind of fun. I like this one. Whoa. What can you do with your kicks? Okay, so remember, use a speed that works for you. Use control. If you slow down the movement, there's a lot that can be experienced, learned, enjoyed from that as well. Okay, so from there, we're going to move in through some lateral lunges. So come into a sumo squat position, and you're just going to drop your weight from side to side. Okay, so this is a little bit of a cool down movement in comparison with what we were just doing. So see if you can use this time to slow down your breathing. You can also transition from your lateral lunge to a split lunge, or a split squat, if you will. So this front leg is in our squat position, the leg behind, so we're in a pseudo lunge of sorts. And we're just transitioning in and out of these positions. You can take your hands off the ground. Just really feel the power and the support of the legs. Now, if you're feeling snapping and popping, maybe dial it down just a little bit. Maybe decrease the range of motion, decrease the speed. Maybe add your hands or your arms into the mix. Maybe you got something you want to lift up through this process. Keeping something close and tight. Stay nice and strong. See if you can keep that body relatively upright. Maybe take some different movements into the mix. Okay? All right, guys. 8 seconds. Finish up this movement strong with lots of awareness and deep cleansing breaths. Awesome. Last movement in this series is a supine extension. So let's lay on our backs. So this is a supine extension. So what that means is I'm going to draw my belly button towards my spine and maintain a neutral spine. So the spine isn't really flat on the ground, but it also isn't too high up off the ground. It's in a neutral position. So find neutral first from a nice relaxed, easy bent knee position, and then create stability by drawing your abdominals in with a little bit of contraction, and then you can lift your knees up off the ground. From here, you're going to take your arms and legs in opposite directions. So there's your extension. Okay? Maintain a strong, solid, neutral spine the whole time. If while you're moving you lose that neutral spine, I want you to dial it down a little bit so that you can use a range of motion that your body can handle. And then as you practice and you develop more strength, you can get a little bit further into your extension and a little bit straighter. But you want to maintain that neutral spine the whole time. You could do single arm, single leg. You can actually press into the legs as they're straightening out, which adds an eccentric, stronger eccentric contraction, which is a contraction while the muscle lengthens, also known as a negative rep. Okay, those are really good for creating or cultivating strength. Okay, guys, 4 seconds left, and we're going to move right back into our knee hand or foot hand crawl position with kick over, tripod, transition. Whatever, just get on your arms or get on your hands and knees, and let's see if we can work this one and have a little fun. Okay, so if you can take your knees up off the ground, feel free, slowly, gently, easily, keeping that neutral spine, press through the heel, reach that leg over. Whoa, kick one of my logs in here. And then when you're ready, I'm going to come back, but I'm going to take the leg that's straight, I'm going to bring it under, and I'm going to kick it up into the air, and now I switch sides. Again, you want to use a speed that works for you. Perhaps this movement feels best to cultivate shoulder strength. Well, in that situation, I really want to slow down and feel what's happening in my shoulder. I want to keep that nice, stable shoulder position, pressing into the ground strongly, switching as I transition from one position to another. Okay? If I want to get more of a hip activation out of it, then I'm going to slow down and emphasize that movement. Reaching over, got about 25 seconds left. Okay? So make it work for you. You'll be so surprised how much you can do if you just use your imagination and you practice. Play around and make this movement practice work for you. Okay, good. We're doing good on time. Okay, so back into our lateral lunges. So sumo squat position, you're going to drop your weight from side to side. So I'm just lowering myself down, and use whatever positions you like. Perhaps you want to rotate through the leg bone and notice the sensations there. I can go up under the ball of the foot over here. I can go flat foot, ball of the foot. I can do whatever I like to add different positions. Remember, you want to make sure that you're adding context wherever possible. You know, where I might use this in my daily grind. You know, where would this position or this movement be helpful or beneficial for me? You know, there's all sorts of different ways that we can add to it. Add whatever you like. Remember, once you've gotten a hang of the recommended movement, then improvise and start to add what's uniquely yours. So important. 40 seconds left. Take your time, nice and strong. Perhaps again, taking those arms into a different position, out to the sides, staying nice and strong. Maybe drop your weight back versus coming forward, lower down. Add whatever you like to make this movement more dynamic and more potent for you. Nice and strong the entire time. Adding that split squat position. Okay, guys. So from here, we're going to move into a cool down stretch. So we're going to start with a couch stretch or hip flexor stretch. Let's get ourselves into position first. So split squat, get nice and tall, pressing through the crown of the head. Feel the ground with the feet, both the front and the back. When you're ready, scoop the butt underneath and press through the posterior hip. Now, if that thing's not on, see if you can find a position where you can get that to turn on. You can use a hip hinge to move forward and back to try to find a way to get this posterior hip to fire. It's not just about firing the posterior hip, but it's about being able to activate certain movements or certain tissues while in certain positions. And if you have weak glutes and you're in this position, and you're stretching the hip flexor, it's likely it's going to be hard to turn this thing on. So try to get a nice contraction there, and then when you're ready, add some gentle movements. So from a front view, I can move myself front, side, back. I can move way further back, way further forward, just playing around with this position. Let's switch sides. Okay, so position first. Really explore the sensations of your feet on the ground. Start to dial in your attention on that breathing. Slow it down. Focus on that relaxed strength. This is moving us into the recovery aspect of our movement. So we've already done a little sweating, a little bit of, faster movement. Now we're slowing it down. But it's active. This isn't a passive stretch. This is an active stretch. Okay, this isn't about falling into or collapsing into a position. This is about being able to move through a stretched or relaxed position, which adds strength. Okay, nice and strong, nice and relaxed, all at the same time. Okay, now create some space in your abdomen by expanding those lower ribs, front, sides, and back while you breathe. Let's switch sides one more time for the other side. So again, find yourself in position. You got something to add a load, feel free. And always add to whatever it is that I'm doing. Perhaps I'm reaching back, touching the foot. You can reach both directions. Notice the different sensations in your body while you do those movements. So when I move one way, if I rotate one way, it feels a certain way. If I go the other way, it also has a certain sensation. Okay, switch one last time. So again, nice split squat position. Adding some micro movements. So when we get to the stretch, it becomes less about the macro movements or the bigger movements and more about bringing your attention into those micro movements and really celebrating the sensations, right? So if I feel good, woohoo, feel good, that's awesome. If I feel a little bit sore, woohoo, that's awesome because that's my body's way of letting me know I already had a good work today. If I feel pain, then this is also something to celebrate because my body's wired to let me know when I need to modify what I'm doing to keep myself safe. And that's a reason to celebrate. The other thing to remember, guys, is your body is always healing. So when you feel great, woo, you're feeling your body healing and moving towards health. You feel discomfort, woo, your body's already moving towards healing and well-being. Okay? So from here, let's go into a figure 4 position with our legs. And we're just going to add a gentle hip hinge stretch, reaching towards that outstretched leg. You can play around with squeezing on each one of the toes, noticing how that feels. Breathing in expansively, exhaling really slow and long. You can add an overhead reach if you like. But remember, this is active. You're not just collapsing into the movement or the position, but rather exploring different sensations through the movement. Let's switch sides. So got the other leg bent now, other leg straight, nice and strong, reaching, spreading fingers wide, whatever variations you want to add. For me, sometimes I like to do some things like touch my pinky to my pinky finger to my pinky toe, and then go through each one of the toes, touching the corresponding toe, and then I switch it up. Now I use my pinky to touch my big toe, so on, so on, so on. And this is helping me with my hand-eye coordination and just helping me with cultivating a relationship with the inner sense. Okay, switch sides one more time, please. Inhale, exhale. Make sure that you're breathing nice and slow, calming yourself down. Perhaps you even close your eyes and really celebrate every single sensation that you have in the present moment. If your mind starts to drift to what you need to do later today, that's just the cue to gently reel your attention back in and choose to focus on the sensations that you feel in your body with gratitude. Okay? Slowly, gently, easily from here, we're going to take both legs stretched out in front. Draw your toes towards your nose. And then from here, I'm going to take one leg and take it into a V-sit position. Now for me, I'm not all that flexible, so sometimes I'll use a stone or something in front to kind of use as a weight to pull me forward. This helps me. The other thing that you can do is put a pillow underneath your rear, and that can help to elevate the hips above the knees, and that also helps you to stay in good position. Okay, so from here I'm going to take my legs back together, add my gentle stretch there, using a combination of pointed toes versus flexed. Nice and relaxed, nice and strong. One more time with the legs out to the side, really focusing on relaxing yourself, using your breath, calming yourself down. Whatever it is that you want in this life, however it is that you want to feel it now. You want to feel good? Feel good. You want to feel hopeful? Feel hopeful. You want to have faith? Be faith. You know, it's all about creating the energy inside your body, and then you will attract the events and the circumstances into your life that will magnify that sensation. Okay, guys, let's go ahead and lay down onto our back sides, please. From here, we're just going to, with our knees bent, we're just going to drop the knees from side to side. Your arms are out to the side. So starting to really slow down that breath. You can always add to this movement by reaching the leg across, coming back. Remember, this is active, so even though we're relaxing, there's an element of strength that's happening. There's an element of control. And this is important, especially if you have a history of any type of injury, because the body needs to slowly work towards that state of relaxation, letting go progressively. And then the more you do that, the more you tune in with your body's ability to become relaxed, healthy, and strong. Okay, guys, from here, we're going to go ahead and just straighten our legs out. We're going to place our hands on our abdomen, and we're just going to do some gentle circular motions. Inhale, exhale. So if you have any history of back pain, this is a great thing to do at the end of your movement practice. So you can just press into your abdomen. I'm just kind of pressing in specifically towards the center. And I'm depressurizing my abdomen. Okay, I can also take my hands on the front sides of my hips, and I'm taking the skin on the front of my hips and I'm moving it in circles, and just notice how lovely that feels. Okay, I can add gentle rocking of my hips from side to side, contracting each one of my glutes alternately. I can reach one arm above the head. I can bend one leg. I can roll onto the side. This is where you start to add whatever little details of stretch that you need to complete your movement practice this morning. Okay, inhale, exhale, nice and slow, nice and strong. Okay, relax and let go of any unnecessary tension. Just let yourself be completely and totally relaxed. From here, if you're more comfortable to straighten both legs, you can feel free to do so. If you need to keep one knee bent, one leg straight, you can do that option. You can also bend both knees. From here, we're just allowing ourselves to come into as much of a relaxed state as we possibly can. Surrendering unnecessary tension. Just allowing the weight of the body to be held by the ground. Feeling the support of the ground. Allowing your body to relax. Inhale, exhale. Nice and slow. Imagine your body beautiful, powerful, and strong from the inside out, starting with your structure or the bones, the foundation. Visualize all your joints powerful, healthy, and strong. Take your attention into your internal organs. Visualize your heart muscle, beautiful, healthy, and strong. Valves leading to and from, open and clear. Imagine your lungs, beautiful and healthy, absorbing power and energy from the breath that you take. Just imagine every aspect of your being beautiful, healthy, and strong, recognizing that you are a beautiful expression of life. Okay, add a gentle smile to your face. Notice how that makes you feel. Surrendering every little last bit of unnecessary tension. Let it sink into the floor below you. Just adding some nice gentle undulations of the spine. Letting that nervous system be soft yet strong. Relaxed but strong. Take one more really deep cleansing breath, and as you exhale, exhale very slow. You can hang out here for a little bit longer, 2, 5, 10 minutes. Feel free. That's a beautiful thing. If you need to get up and get on with the rest of your day, do what you need to do. Thank you guys so much for joining me this morning in this movement session. You know I had a good time, and I hope you had a good time too. Yeah, so anyways, thank you guys so much. Lots of love to all you guys, and thank you so much for being here today.